The first thing you notice about Minato at night is that it moves. Not like a living thing, nothing warm or innocent like that. It shifts, like something vast and mechanical turning over in restless sleep. The cranes groan on their pivots. Container stacks click and settle as metal cools. Steam hisses from vents that nobody's bothered to map in 30 years. The water itself, black as engine oil, slicked with rainbow shimmer, laps against pier pilings with the rhythm of a slow, industrial heartbeat. May's bike tires hiss through a pothole puddle, handlebars rattling in her grip. She doesn't notice the beauty anymore. Used to, when she first started running harbor deliveries 3 years ago. Used to stop and stare at the way neon from the ramen stands and dive bars bled into the fog, turning the whole port into some kind of half-drowned dream. Used to feel like she was pedaling through a postcard of old Tokyo, back when the empire still pretended it gave a shit about aesthetic. Now she just notices the potholes, the broken streetlights, the rust. Her insulated delivery bag bounces against her spine, still warm from the last drop. Hot bento boxes to the third shift crane operators up in the control booths. Good tip on that one. Enough to make the late ride worth it, even though her cousin keeps telling her to stop working past 11. Nothing good happens in Minato after midnight, May. You know that. Yeah, she knows. She also knows rent is due in 4 days, and her radiator is held together with zip ties and hope. A ship horn bellows somewhere out in the blackness beyond the harbor mouth. Deep, mournful, like a steel whale calling for something that died decades ago. The sound rolls through her chest. She's heard it 1,000 times. It never stops feeling like a warning. Overhead, one of the big cargo cranes sways slightly in the wind. Cables hanging loose from its arms swing like wet hair, clicking against the frame in an uneven rhythm. The whole structure is older than her mother, probably older than the district itself, back when this was all just mudflats and imperial ambition. Now it's, what? A place where things get moved? A place where people work and drink and bleed and vanish. A place where the empire doesn't look too close as long as the shipping schedules stay on time. May pedals past a warehouse tagged with layered graffiti, old-style kanji under corporation logos under someone's attempt at a phoenix that looks more like a tumor. A hollow ad flickers to life on the wall, some dating sim bullshit, then glitches into static and dies. She catches her reflection in a puddle as she rides through it. For just a second, split by ripples, she sees herself. 22, tired. Hair pulled into a messy knot because she didn't have time to wash it. The little wolf charm around her neck swinging with each pedal stroke, barely visible under her jacket collar. She looks away. The harbor is watching tonight. She can feel it in the way the shadows sit wrong, the way the usual sounds seem just a half note off. It's the same feeling she used to get as a kid, walking home past the shrine at the edge of the district. That prickle on the back of your neck that says, something sees you, even if you can't see it back. Old superstition, harbor rat bullshit. But her hand drifts to the wolf charm anyway. May doesn't stop for food because she's hungry. She stops because her phone died. The terminal screen blinks red, 2% battery, then nothing. Black. Dead weight in her pocket. And she's got one more delivery to confirm, one more address to pull up, one more payment to verify before she can call it a night. The ramen stand has an outlet. She knows because she's charged here before. She props her bike, ducks under the plastic flap, and the owner, 60-something, face like a catcher's mitt, grunts without looking up. Outlet's busted. Use the one by the corner stool. Thanks. She plugs in, orders nothing, just stands there while her phone struggles back to life with agonizing slowness. 1%, 2%. That's when she hears them. 3 men on stools, mid-argument. Voices just loud enough to carry over the hiss of the fryer. I'm telling you, he took Kenta off Pier 3 last week. 1 second, Kenta's waving a knife. Next second, he's in the water, in pieces. May doesn't mean to eavesdrop, but she's stuck here until her phone hits 10%, and there's nowhere else to look except at the muted TV or at them. So she listens. A young man in his early 20s, cargo handler's gloves shoved in his belt, snorts into his beer. You're full of shit, old man. It's just some augmented psycho in clan armor. Probably Tsuranami cleaning house and making it look weird so people don't ask questions. Then why'd 3 Tsuranami boys disappear last month? The old man's voice drops, takes on that tone people use when they're half drunk and fully superstitious. You think they're vanishing themselves? The third man, a sailor, merchant marine patch on his jacket, smelling like diesel and cigarette ash, shakes his head. You're both wrong. I saw him 2 months back, up on the container stacks near the south gate. Walked through a hail of gunfire like it was fucking rain. Bullshit. Swear on my mother's grave. May sets her elbows on the counter, soup steaming in front of her. She knows this song. Heard it 100 times in 100 iterations. Same story, different details, nobody ever quite agreeing. So what'd he look like? She asks, half teasing, stirring her noodles. The sailor points at her like she just asked the right question. Tall, real tall, maybe 7 feet. Armor, but old style, not the sleek Kurohane shit. Big, brutal, like something out of the war museums. He wasn't 7 feet, the old crane operator mutters. I've seen him twice. He's maybe 6'2", moves like a shadow. What color were his eyes this time? May grins into her bowl. All 3 men stop. They look at each other. Blue, the old man says, quiet. Blue, the sailor confirms. Cyan, maybe, the cargo handler adds, scratching his jaw. Like LED blue, not natural. First time tonight, all 3 of them agree on anything. May slurps her noodles, pretending she doesn't feel the little chill that runs down her back. And you're sure it's not just some guy in a mask? She asks. The old man leans forward. His breath smells like cheap whiskey and 60 years of inhaled salt air. You don't move like that if you're human. I've worked cranes for 40 years. I know weight. I know balance. This thing, he taps his temple. It moves like physics don't apply. Like gravity forgot about him. It's Kage, the sailor says, voice flat, certain. The wolf, the cargo handler mutters into his beer. The old man just shakes his head, mouth a grim line. Kagi Okami. He says it the way you'd say a name in a shrine. The way you say something you don't want to draw the attention of. Nobody corrects him. The owner sets down a beer he didn't order, nods at May. On the house. You're out too late again. She takes it, doesn't argue. On the TV, the news transitions to a segment about maintaining economic stability in peripheral zones. The men go back to eating. The arguments died. You can only retread the same ghost story so many times in one night before it stops being fun and starts being something else. May finishes her soup in silence, feeling the weight of the charm against her collarbone. She's never seen him herself. Half of her hopes it stays that way. My cousin saw him drag a guy into the bay last year, the cargo handler says, unable to let it die. Said he was huge, like mech huge. Had to be piloted. No way, the sailor shakes his head. I'm telling you, I saw a man in a wolf mask. Could have been augmented, sure, but he wasn't no mech. Moved too smooth. Then how the hell did he tear a shipping container door off its hinges? You see the photos from that bust-up at Pier 9? Enhanced strength. Black market Kurohane mods. Happens all the time. The old man snorts. You think some modded up thug is gonna last 5 years in Minato-cho without getting capped by Tsuranami? Or disappeared by Tokagen? Or bought out by Hozuki? He stabs the air with a chopstick. This is something else. So what, he's a kami? Some kind of harbor god? The cargo handler laughs, but it's the kind of laugh that dies quick. Don't know what he is, the old man says. But I know what he does. He kills predators. He kills whoever the clans piss him off with, the sailor counters. I heard he flatlined a cop once, right in front of his squad car. They didn't even file a report. That cop was dirty, the old man shoots back. Running girls out of a container depot? Everybody knew. And how would the wolf know? How does he know anything? The old man shrugs. You think he's got fucking informants? May listens, fingers wrapped around the beer, condensation wetting her palms. The thing about the stories is they never line up. Not the height, not the color of the armor, not whether he's alone or working for someone. Half the time, people swear he's a ghost. The other half, they swear he's just a man who got really good at killing. The only thing that stays the same? The eyes. Blue, electric, cutting through smoke and fog and lies like search beams. And the fact that if you're hunting someone weaker than you, if you're squeezing someone who can't squeeze back, sooner or later, the wolf finds you. Maybe. Unless he doesn't. I heard he only moves on clan business, the cargo handler mutters. Leaves the small shit alone. Then why'd he pull those kids out of that trafficking van last winter? The sailor snaps back. That wasn't clan. That was independent scum. Because kids, the old man says, voice hard. There are lines. So he's got a code. Or he's just psychotic and picks random targets. 5 years of random looks like a pattern, genius. May sets her empty bowl down, louder than she meant to. All three men glance at her. She forces a grin. You guys realize you've been arguing about the same ghost for 20 minutes, and nobody's even sure he exists, right? The old man looks at her for a long moment. Then he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a battered smartphone, thumbs through photos, and holds it up. The image is grainy, zoomed way the fuck in, but she can see it. A figure, perched on the edge of a container stack, silhouette only, backlit by sodium lamps. The head is wrong, too angular, ears pointed upward. And in the center of the shadow, 2 small points of cyan light. Took that 3 weeks ago, the old man says. From my crane booth, zoomed all the way in. May stares at it. Her throat is dry. Could be doctored, she says, but it sounds weak even to her. The old man pockets the phone. Could be. Nobody says anything for a while. The owner flips the channel. Late-night variety show. Laughter without context. May slides off her stool, pulls a few crumpled bills from her pocket, and drops them on the counter. Thanks for the soup. Stay off the piers tonight. the owner says without looking at her. Always do. She steps back into the cold and the mist, zips her jacket up to her chin, and unlocks her bike. The charm swings. She rode past that same container stack on her way here. Didn't see anything. Didn't feel anything. But she also didn't look up. This is a sample to cut. Rain starts as she leaves the stand. Light, more mist than drops. The kind that doesn't soak you all at once, but gets you wet anyway. May checks her terminal. One last delivery. An envelope dropped to a dock supervisor's office near the South Cranes. Not food, not medical, just papers, which usually means someone's paying someone to look the other way on something. She doesn't ask. That's the job. You take the package, you deliver the package, you get paid. Simple. Except nothing's simple after midnight in Minato-cho. She could take the main harbor road, wider, better lit, more people. But it's also longer, and she's tired, and the shortcut through the side streets near the container yards saves 10 minutes. So she takes the shortcut. The streets narrow, the lights get sparser. Buildings press closer, old warehouses with broken windows, storage units with rusted roll doors, a shuttered pachinko parlor with flickering hollow signage that reads LCK Dragon, because half the characters burned out years ago. A couple stumbles out of a dive bar, arguing in slurred Mandarin. The woman's crying, the man's shouting. May gives them a wide berth, eyes down, keeps pedaling. Up ahead, a group of men smoke under an awning. 4 of them. Cheap suits, cheaper haircuts, clan colors on their cuffs, jade green. Jade spine boys, low level. They clock her immediately. One of them whistles. May doesn't look, doesn't slow, just keeps her cadence steady, legs pumping, pretending she didn't hear. Oi, Baobei, where are you going so fast? Leave her, one of the others mutters. She's just a courier. So? I'm bored. May's heartbeat kicks up. Her hand tightens on the handlebars, but they don't move. She passes. They let her. One of them laughs, low, lazy, the kind that says, we could have stopped you if we wanted to. She exhales only when she's around the corner. The rain picks up. Not much, just enough. Above her, a security camera whirs, lens pivoting to track her path. She's gotten used to them. Tokajin's grid is everywhere in Minato-cho. Watching shipping, watching the clans, watching people like her who don't matter except as data points in someone's algorithm. She wonders sometimes if the wolf knows he's being watched, if he cares. Ahead, a yellow light glows in an alley between 2 warehouses. A single busted security lamp, half its housing missing, swinging slightly on a rusted chain. May slows. She hears voices, raised, angry. She should keep going. She knows she should keep going. But something about the tone, one voice pleading, the other's hard and cold, makes her break. She coasts to a stop at the mouth of the alley, 1 foot on the ground, balanced. Looks. This is a sample to cut. 3 men. 1 old shopkeeper. She recognizes the shop owner, runs a small electronics repair place 2 blocks over, fixes ancient terminals and bootleg terminals for dock workers who can't afford new ones. Nice guy. Let her charge her phone once when her battery died mid-shift. Now he's pressed face first against a metal shutter, 1 man's hand on the back of his neck, another tapping a baton against his own palm with slow, deliberate rhythm. The 3rd man stands back, watching, cigarette smoldering between his fingers. Protection fees went up. The one with the baton says, voice flat, new schedule. We told you last month. I paid, the shop owner stammers. His glasses are crooked, one lens cracked. I paid everything. I showed you the receipt. That was last month's rate. You didn't say. The man with the baton drives it into the shop owner's ribs. Not hard enough to break anything, just hard enough to fold him in half, gasping. We're saying it now. May's hands tighten on the handlebars. Her pulse hammers in her ears. She should leave. She should fucking leave. But her feet won't move. The third man, the one smoking, kicks over a wooden crate sitting by the shutter. It splits open. Old circuit boards and scavenged components spill across the wet pavement like mechanical guts. That's next week's inventory, the shop owner croaks. Please, I can't. The man with the baton leans in close. Then you better figure it out, or we start billing your knees. May's stomach twists. Her hand drifts toward her pocket, toward her phone. But what's she gonna do? Call the cops? They don't come to Minato-cho unless a body's already cold and someone important wants it moved. File a complaint? With who? These guys are the authority here. Tsuranami's reach runs deep in this part of the harbor, and Jade Spine and Iron Dice pay their taxes up the chain just like everyone else. The system isn't broken. The system is working as designed. And she is a 22-year-old courier with a busted bike and 400 yen in her account. She is nothing. The shop owner sees her. For just a second, their eyes meet, and his expression, God, the look on his face. It's not hope. It's not expectation. It's just resignation. And maybe a little bit of, please don't make this worse for yourself. May's chest tightens. She looks away, pedals backward, quiet, turns her bike around, leaves. The voices fade behind her as she rides, swallowed by the rain and the hiss of distant machinery. She hates herself a little more with every rotation of the pedals. She's half a block away when something makes her look up. Maybe it's instinct. Maybe it's guilt looking for an excuse. Maybe it's just the weight of all those stories pressing down on her skull, making her search the shadows for something that isn't there. But she looks, and she sees him. High above the alley, perched on the arm of a crane, maybe 60 feet up, silhouetted against the glow of the port lights and the low-hanging fog. Still, perfectly, inhumanly still. The shape is wrong, proportions off. The head too angular, crowned with pointed protrusions that could be ears or horns or antenna. She doesn't know, can't tell from here. But the eyes, oh God, the eyes. 2 points of faint cyan light, glowing softly in the mist like distant stars, aimed directly down at the alley she just left. May's breath catches. Her heart stops, restarts, hammers against her ribs like it's trying to escape. She doesn't move, can't move. Just stands there, straddling her bike, staring up at something that shouldn't be possible. He's watching. He's been watching. The whole time she was there, the whole time those men were beating that old man, he was right there, and he didn't move. May blinks. When her eyes open, the shape is gone. Just fog, just cranes, just the skeletal geometry of the harbor reaching into the dark. She stares at the empty space for 10 full seconds, lungs tight, mouth dry. Then she pedals. Fast. This is a sample to cut. 3 men, 1 old shopkeeper. She recognizes the shop owner, runs a small electronics repair place 2 blocks over, fixes ancient terminals and bootleg terminals for dock workers who can't afford new ones. Nice guy. Let her charge her phone once when her battery died mid-shift. Now he's pressed face first against a metal shutter, one man's hand on the back of his neck, another tapping a baton against his own palm with slow, deliberate rhythm. The third man stands back, watching, cigarette smoldering between his fingers. Protection fees went up, the one with the baton says, voice flat. New schedule. We told you last month. I paid, the shop owner stammers. His glasses are crooked, one lens cracked. I paid everything. I showed you the receipt. That was last month's rate. You didn't say. The man with the baton drives it into the shop owner's ribs. Not hard enough to break anything, just hard enough to fold him in half, gasping. We're saying it now. May's hands tighten on the handlebars. Her pulse hammers in her ears. She should leave. She should fucking leave. But her feet won't move. The third man, the one smoking, kicks over a wooden crate sitting by the shutter. It splits open. Old circuit boards and scavenged components spill across the wet pavement like mechanical guts. That's next week's inventory, the shop owner croaks. Please, I can't. The man with the baton leans in close. Then you better figure it out, or we start billing your knees. May's stomach twists. Her hand drifts toward her pocket, toward her phone. But what's she gonna do? Call the cops? They don't come to Minato-cho unless a body's already cold and someone important wants it moved. File a complaint? With who? These guys are the authority here. Tsuranami's reach runs deep in this part of the harbor, and Jade Spine and Iron Dice pay their taxes up the chain just like everyone else. The system isn't broken. The system is working as designed. And she is a 22-year-old courier with a busted bike and 400 yen in her account. She is nothing. The shop owner sees her. For just a second, their eyes meet. And his expression, God, the look on his face, it's not hope. It's not expectation. It's just resignation. And maybe a little bit of, please don't make this worse for yourself. May's chest tightens. She looks away, pedals backward, quiet, turns her bike around, leaves. The voices fade behind her as she rides, swallowed by the rain and the hiss of distant machinery. She hates herself a little more with every rotation of the pedals. She's half a block away when something makes her look up. Maybe it's instinct. Maybe it's guilt looking for an excuse. Maybe it's just the weight of all those stories pressing down on her skull, making her search the shadows for something that isn't there. But she looks, and she sees him. High above the alley, perched on the arm of a crane, maybe 60 feet up, silhouetted against the glow of the port lights and the low-hanging fog. Still, perfectly, inhumanly still. The shape is wrong. Proportions off. The head too angular, crowned with pointed protrusions that could be ears or horns or antenna. She doesn't know, can't tell from here. But the eyes, oh God, the eyes. 2 points of faint cyan light, glowing softly in the mist like distant stars, aimed directly down at the alley she just left. May's breath catches. Her heart stops, restarts, hammers against her ribs like it's trying to escape. She doesn't move, can't move, just stands there, straddling her bike, staring up at something that shouldn't be possible. He's watching. He's been watching. The whole time she was there, the whole time those men were beating that old man, he was right there. And he didn't move. May blinks. When her eyes open, the shape is gone. Just fog. Just cranes. Just the skeletal geometry of the harbor reaching into the dark. She stares at the empty space for 10 full seconds, lungs tight, mouth dry. Then she pedals. Fast. This is a sample to cut. She's halfway to her last delivery when she passes another group. Dock workers this time, not enforcers. Older guys, off shift, clustered under an awning near a 24-hour convenience store, smoking and nursing vending machine coffee. She catches part of the conversation as she rolls past. Swear to God, man, Kazu's gone. Not arrested, not missing, gone. They found his jacket on Pier 7, covered in blood, no body. Probably dumped in the bay. Clans do that all the time. Yeah, but this was Kazu. Tsuranami, Lieutenant. You don't just disappear a guy like that without someone noticing. Unless someone bigger than Tsuranami wanted him gone. Or something. A pause. You think it was him? Who else? Could have been Hozuki. Could have been a foreign hit. Could have been the wolf. Another pause. Longer. One of the men flicks his cigarette into a puddle. I heard he doesn't just kill them. I heard he hunts them. Watches them for days, learns their routes, waits till they're alone. That's urban legend bullshit. Yeah? Then how come every guy who goes missing was a predator? How come it's never some random dock rat or salary man? It's always hunters, traffickers, enforcers who go too far, dirty cops. Because that's who the clans kill, dumbass. They clean house and blame the wolf so nobody looks at them. Then why's Tsuranami pissing themselves? Why'd Ryo put a bounty on information about him? Silence. May's hands tighten on the handlebars. She wants to stop, wants to ask them what they know, wants to scream, I just saw him and he didn't do anything. But she keeps writing. Because what would she even say? That the myth is real but disappointing? That the ghost is watching but doesn't care? That blue eyes in the dark mean nothing if they don't act? She turns a corner and leaves the voices behind, swallowed by the rain and the hum of generators and the low, endless groan of the harbor at night. This is a sample to cut. Her apartment is 6 flights up in a converted warehouse building that smells like rust and mildew and someone's perpetually burnt dinner. May's legs scream as she climbs the stairs. Her knees pop, her back aches. The delivery bag is empty now, slung over one shoulder, and she's mentally counting the night's earnings in her head. Enough to cover rent, barely. Enough to eat for another week if she's careful. Not enough to fix the radiator. Never enough to fix anything. She unlocks her door, 2 deadbolts and a chain because Minato-cho has a lot of things, but safe isn't one of them, and steps inside. It's small. Smaller than small. A single room with a kitchenette that's more corner with a hot plate than actual kitchen. A futon she folds up every morning. A tiny bathroom with a shower head drips constantly no matter how many times she tries to tighten it. One window. Narrow. Cracked in the corner from a stray bullet 3 years ago that nobody reported because what's the point? But the view. The view is the only thing that makes it worth it. From here, she can see the cranes, the container stacks, the black water of the harbor stretching toward the mouth where it opens into the greater bay. Lights from ships and sodium lamps and distant high-rises reflecting in the oily surface like drowned stars. May drops her bag by the door, peels off her jacket, and collapses onto the futon without bothering to unfold it. Her body aches, bone deep, exhausted in a way that sleep won't fully fix. She stares at the ceiling, water stains blooming across the plaster like Rorschach tests. Her phone buzzes. She ignores it. Probably her cousin asking if she's home yet. Probably another automated rent reminder. Probably nothing that matters. She reaches up, fingers finding the wolf charm at her neck, and rolls it between her thumb and forefinger. Cheap metal, dull with age. She got it at a shrine festival when she was 7, back when her mother still brought her to things like that. Before the debt, before the drinking, before Minato-cho became less of a neighborhood and more of a sentence. The charm used to feel like luck. Now it just feels like weight. If you're real, she whispers to the ceiling, to the cranes beyond the window, to whatever might be listening in the dark. You had your chance tonight. No answer. Just the hiss of rain on glass and the distant sound of a ship's horn echoing through the port. She closes her eyes. Behind her lids, she sees him again. Silhouette on the crane. Eyes like cold fire. Watching. Always watching. Never moving. She wants to be angry, wants to feel betrayed by a myth she never believed in anyway. But all she feels is tired. So fucking tired. She gets up, crosses to the corner where a small shelf holds a handful of offerings. A stick of cheap incense, a cracked photo of her mother, a few coins, and the residue of prayers she stopped meaning a long time ago. She lights the incense anyway. Habit, superstition, desperation masquerading as tradition. The smoke curls upward, thin and gray, dissipating before it reaches the ceiling. If you're just a story, she murmurs, why did I see you on that crane? The smoke drifts, the rain falls, the harbor breathes. And somewhere in the dark, she thinks, just for a moment, she sees a flicker of blue light reflected in the window glass. But when she turns, there's nothing. Just her own reflection staring back, alone. This is a sample to cut. High above Minato-cho, the world is rendered in sharp, perfect clarity. Kage stands on the horizontal arm of Crane 17B, 60 feet above the harbor, utterly still. The wind pulls at his coat, heavy, armored fabric that hangs like a shroud. Rain beads on the wolf mask, rolling down the angular planes of the faceplate, dripping from the pointed ears. He does not shiver, does not shift his weight, does not blink, just watches. From here, he can see the entire district, the piers stretching like skeletal fingers into black water, the container stacks rising in geometric chaos, the narrow streets where yellow light bleeds from shuttered windows and people try to sleep through the cold. He knows this harbor the way some men know their own scars. Every blind alley, every camera angle, every patrol route the clans run, every place where screams get swallowed by machinery and never reach the street. Below, in alley 23J, 3 men finished their work. Kage watched it all. The shakedown, the beating, the old man folding under the baton strike like wet cardboard. He did not move. The girl, May, the courier, the one who's always out too late, she saw it too. Stood there frozen on her bike, hand drifting toward her pocket like she might call someone, might do something. Then she looked up, directly at him. For one long, suspended moment, their eyes met across the distance and the fog. Kage remained perfectly still, didn't flinch, didn't retreat. Just let her see. She blinked. When her eyes opened, he'd shifted. One smooth, silent step to the left, merging with the crane's shadow, breaking the line of sight. But she knows. He can tell by the way her hands trembled on the handlebars as she rode away, by the way she came back to help the old man, by the way she looked up again afterward, searching the cranes, the rooftops, the dark. She's seen the wolf, and he let her. He doesn't know why. Hours pass. The rain slows, the fog thickens. The harbor settles into the deep quiet of 2 a.m., the hour when even predators rest. Kage remains. His body aches in the way it always does after too many nights without rest. The old wound in his left leg throbs with the cold. His ribs, broken badly 6 months ago, healed crooked, protest every deep breath. He ignores it. Pain is just information, and information can be filed away. From his vantage, he watches Minato-cho breathe. Late shift dock workers trudging home, a few stragglers stumbling out of basement gambling dens, the glow of scattered windows where people lie awake because rent is due, or someone they love is missing, or the city just won't let them sleep. He used to know this place differently, a long time ago, when there were orders, clear, simple, absolute. Secure the harbor, suppress resistance, protect imperial assets. He remembers the weight of those orders like a physical thing, heavy, anchoring, certain. And then he remembers the day they stopped, the day the officers packed up and left, and the radios went silent. He was told to stand by, and no one ever came back. Kage's hand tightens on the crane's metal beam. The wolf mask hides his face, but if anyone were close enough, if anyone could see through the scarred, angular plates, they might catch something human in the tension of his jaw. That was 60 years ago. The Empire moved on. The war ended. The machines were decommissioned, dismantled, forgotten. All of them. Except the ones who refused to die. Movement below catches his attention. May's apartment building, 6th floor. Window cracked open despite the cold. Through the gap, he can see her shadow moving. Small, tired. She lights something, incense, he thinks. The thin gray smoke curls upward, barely visible against the dark. She's praying, or pretending to. Kage doesn't know the difference anymore. He watches her shadow still, then fade as the light goes out. Asleep, vulnerable. He files the information automatically. Residential block 6J, 6th floor. Window accessible from fire escape. Locks, standard, insufficient. Clan activity in area, moderate. He doesn't know why he tracks her specifically. She's just one of 43 people he watches. 43 lives that don't know they're being guarded by something that shouldn't still be here. But she looked up. She saw him, and she came back. Most people run. Most people pretend they saw nothing, heard nothing, know nothing, because knowing gets you killed in Minato-cho. But she came back. This is a sample to cut. Help the old man. Asked him questions Kage couldn't hear from this distance. Then looked for him again. Why? What does she think he is? A hero? A monster? A ghost? Does it matter? Kage shifts his weight, testing the crane arm's stability. It groans softly under him, rusted, old, long past its maintenance schedule. Like everything else in this district. Like him. He should leave, find another perch, another vantage. Spread his attention wider instead of narrowing it to one tired courier who doesn't know when to stay inside. But he doesn't move. Just stands there in the rain and the dark, watching the harbor sleep, waiting for something he can't name. A scream, a gunshot, a line crossed, proof that he's still needed. Because if he's not needed, if the harbor doesn't require a wolf anymore, then what the fuck has he been doing for 60 years? The thought sits in his chest like a stone. He pushes it down, buries it under procedure, under protocol, under the rhythm of patrol routes and threat assessments and the endless mechanical logic of watch, wait, respond. It's enough. It has to be enough, because it's all he has left. Far below, in her tiny apartment, May dreams of blue eyes in the fog, of a shape on the cranes that shouldn't exist, of a harbor that breathes like a living thing, and a ghost that has forgotten how to leave. Above, Kage stands watch, silent, still, alone. The wolf of Minato-cho, guardian of nothing, protector of no one. Just a relic that refuses to rust. And somewhere deep in the architecture of his thoughts, in a place he doesn't examine too closely, a single question echoes. What happens when even ghosts get tired? He doesn't answer it, just turns his gaze back to the harbor, to the cranes and the water, and the distant glow of a city that has forgotten he exists. And he waits, because waiting is all he knows.